Good evening. God bless you. Welcome back. My name is Zach. This is episode 22 in the Health, Wealth, and Happiness series. Woo! Be bold, be strong, for the Lord your God is with you. All right, guys. It was a tough day. Day 4 of my fast, working. Thankfully, it was a pretty light workload this week because I was a little weak yesterday and I was a lot of weak today. I was struggling to walk, I almost broke at work. I was like, I have to eat something, but I didn't. And I think my blood pressure was getting a little low. So I went and got a couple packs of salt, the lunchroom. And I put one in a cup of water and I just licked the other one out of my hand and drank a couple, 2, 3, 4 more cups of water and felt much better. But yeah, it was a real struggle to get through this 96 this time last week. Because I had been eating up until that point, and 4 days, I have all these calories and stuff left in my body, and carrying over got me through that 4 days easy. But then, eating a little lighter than I usually would on the 4 on days of eating last week, I probably didn't have as many calories to burn through. So, because like when I weighed in this week on my first 24 hours, I was surprised I had lost like 5 or 6 pounds in the first day of going back on the fast, which, okay, started at 270, fasted for 4 days, got down to 256. Yes. And then I set a goal to not go back over 265 on the 4 days eating, and I went exactly to 265. And then I fasted for 96 more hours now. So we've done this 2 rounds of 96 hours fast. And I was not as light as I wanted to be, but I was 253 when I got home just a little while ago. So that's still another 3 pounds down from the 256 in only 8 days of eating and then fasting. So it's really not that bad. And then I think I'm going to set my goal this time, though. Instead of 265, obviously I don't want to go back up to that because that's what I went last time, to drop it down to, I'm thinking 260. But maybe 262 because that would be 3 pounds less than the 265. I'm going to try to do 260 because, okay, the meat only won on the poll. So I was too weak to even go buy any food. I was going to go to the meat market by my house, but it closed at 7 o'clock and I got up at 6:30 and I didn't really want to hurry and I was feeling so weak. But I remembered I had 2 turkey patties in the freezer and a pound of hamburger. So I knew I had some meat here. So I got home and I was just famished. I was like, I weighed in right away so that I can drink some water. And so I dug around for the turkey patties and I looked in the fridge and there I found 2 turkey hot dogs that were left over from Monday. Remember last week I said I had a couple turkey hot dogs. So there was 2 left in that pack. So I threw those in the air fryer immediately. Ate those while the turkey burgers were cooking. And I put a lot of salt, a lot of, pink Himalayan sea salt is a great salt to really replenish your electrolytes. And it's got minerals, and some of that salt's like hundreds of millions of years old purportedly. So it's amazing. I feel way better. I don't feel weaker, so I was pretty hungry today, but the hunger doesn't bother me. Like I can endure any amount of hunger. I've fasted so many times, but the weakness was getting to me. I was like, man, I got to buy like a bag of beef jerky or something, but I managed to hang on. So I feel my stomach kind of rumbling now, like, oh, you don't go 4 days without eating and then you eat like, I don't know, those were probably like 4-ounce turkey patties each, and I ate both of them and 2. And the turkey hot dogs are pretty fat, long ones. So those are pretty. So I ate all that, and I'm feeling really full and good and happy that I made it down to 253. I'd have really been bummed if I didn't even go under 256. So, but I wouldn't have gave up. I've got my mind set that, this is I'm not on a diet. I'm not on a program. I'm on a life change. I'm on a do it. There is no try. I'm just doing it. I'm not struggling to continue. You say, well, Zach, you just said you were weak and struggling at work. Like I'm struggling just I wasn't about to quit. Like I'm just having some weakness, and I'm gonna push through no matter what. So I think I'm gonna set it for 260 for this week to don't for this 4 days of off work to hi, good evening, buddy. To not go over 260 on this 4 days on or 4 days off of work I have now. So so I think that then when I go back to fasting, I'll be at 260 already instead of 265, and then I'll drop below 253. Hopefully that'll work. And with the meat, it's I'm sure I'll have a much easier time to stay under 260 than I did last week to stay under 265. I actually had to like wait. So I weigh myself continuously. Like if I'm about to eat lunch, say I go weigh myself, and let's just say I was 264.8. Like, well, then I just wouldn't eat lunch because you can't go over 265 and you're going to gain the weight of the food you eat. So unless you only eat like 2 ounces of food. So it's just a way for me to pace myself with my eating and my weight. And, it's not going to be something I always do, but it's just till April 1st. And I think I found the program I want to do after April 1st, but I need to do a little more research and maybe I'll have a poll. And, when that time comes, we got a long ways to go from there. So I didn't go to the gym today, but what I had a mind explode moment at work today. I'm like, hey, there's a gym here at work, and it was a really slow day, and my boss leaves at 4. Not that I can't go to the gym on my break anyway, but so I just waited for my boss to leave, and I did all my other work, and I just got my work boots off so I can go into the work gym and just pumped iron for like 20 minutes. Little bit of cardio, got breathing heavy, just did like a 1-minute pump and 30-second break, 1-minute pump, 30-minute for like 15, 20 minutes. And I did I walk up and down stairs a lot. I just walked up some extra staircases today just to get the little extra workout. So again, this is this is just a life change. This is a complete and total life change of body, mind, spirit, soul, my energy, where I'm going to spend my energy now is a very important subject to me. Like I'm not going to waste my energy on women that aren't right for me, on friends that aren't right for me, on relationships that aren't right for me. And I'm going to spend my energy on the things and the people that love me and want to be around me. And I'm going to, continue to read the Bible and study God's word and understand Jesus Christ was here for me. And he helped me overcome depression, helped me overcome anxiety, helped me overcome my upbringing in the inner city, haven't really talked about my past that much, but I mean, I might have some videos about it, but for now we're just sticking on, let's get fit. Let's turn our dietary habits around and turn our fitness and workout habits around. And so that's where I'm at now. Today it really hit me too. This, you want, like I said before, the safest way to lose 100 pounds would be 2 years. The way you're going to keep it off. I mean, if you take 2 years to lose 100 pounds, but you want it to happen overnight, right? So something that hit me at work today when I was feeling weak and I was just struggling a little bit, and I was like, man, I need to do something. It's like this is not going to happen overnight. This is something I have the rest of my life to do because it's a life change for the rest of your life. So you have time. Like I set the April 1st goal that's just for this 4-day fasting thing, and like I said, yesterday I set my weight loss goal for that day to be 218. And I think now that I'm seeing some of these results, I mean, I still have like 11 more rounds of 4 fast and 4 eat, 4 fast. So even if 18, 20, 30, 40, I'll be right around there. It'll be close where I could probably push it, do some extra workouts or something. And we'll see where I end up at April 1st, because it's going to be awesome. Because then usually on April 1st is like I said, the last 2-3 years, I've been able to get down to the 220, and I was actually 218 like 3 summers ago. Not this summer, 3 summers ago. And then last summer I was down to 222 before I started dating another, unhealthy woman for me. And then but usually in both of them winters, I ballooned back up to, 255, 265, wherever I was. That's why I said 270 was like the most I ballooned back up in the last, probably 4 or 5 years. So this time I'll be hitting April 1st when I'm ready to start doing all my outdoor activities and hiking and backpacking and camping, the Superior Hiking Trail up north of Minnesota. For example, last summer, not this past summer, but last summer, between May 30th as Memorial Day, right around there, Memorial Day, and then Labor Day is 100 days. And I was on a challenge to walk as far as you could, and we just logged our miles every day on this, and it was raising money for Alzheimer's or something. I can't remember. They still do it out, so I'm going to sign up for it again. But I walked. I didn't count my running because I was also training for a half marathon at the time. But I walked 755 miles in those 100 days. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is how I get down in weight in the summer. So I'm so excited to be losing weight now in the middle of the winter. It's like I'm totally refocused. All my energy is just about loving yourself and loving those that support and want to be, a part of your winning team, So it's your choice. It's your decision. The big advice, like for me, like what I've been through so far to get to this decision making in my process was that I just had to never give up. Like if at any point I would have just given up and just, said, oh, it's just too hard. I'm never going to be in shape. I'm just going to eat ice cream and pizza until I'm 350, And, if you give up, that is what's going to happen. So you try and you fail and you just don't give up. You try again and you try again and you try again. So I had read a book. I was just finishing up like the last couple words of how to live like a Roman Empire or whatever it was, or a Roman general. The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, and they're talking about some battles that Marcus Aurelius was in and how they were getting ambushed, and he found a way to turn it around. And it reminded me of a book I read because they said this in the Meditations as well, that the obstacle is the way. Sometimes your greatest difficulties in life, like through those difficulties, are the way to success. Like running from those difficulties, trying to avoid them, going around them, going over them, going under them is not the way. It's showing you the way. Like the night I kicked off this video, whatever, how many days ago, I think it was around December 5th. So, it's been a few weeks. It was the day I decided to stop going back and trying to work it out with my ex-girlfriend, because over, like I said, 6-9 months of always arguing about nothing, it just showed our incompatibility. And, without focusing too much on that relationship, what I'm talking about is something was difficult and it was an obstacle. And I use that as the way to show, Zach, you're not treating yourself right by allowing this type of person and this type of situation in your life. And I used it to launch myself into a new direction. I made a decision to go another way and start caring about myself. And I care about her and I care about other people. I care about my ex-wife and my ex-girlfriends. And of course, everybody cares about their children. And, but if you don't care about yourself, none of that's going to matter, because you're not going to be able to provide the love and the caring and the sharing that you can when you're loving yourself first. To be able to, it's like on an airplane crash. What does this say? It says, put the mask on yourself first, then help the other person. That's the way to look at the maybe would be defined as selfish, the selfish behavior that it requires to take care of yourself first. And so, I mean, if the oxygen's being sucked out of the aircraft and you want to put it on your child first, but then you die and then you don't get it on your child either because you couldn't breathe. So it's like, take care of yourself first, get your mask on, then you can save your child and help the world, which is really my goal. I mean, if I could bring about world peace somehow by this channel blowing up in a couple of years, God's will, so be it, But for now, it's just hey, Zach, let's get yourself fit and looking good and feeling good. And I know the channel's going to get more popular as more and more weight I lose, So what am I down? It's like I said, it's only been, well, I didn't even start, the diet in the first 10 or 11 videos. So that was December 5th. So it must have been like the 15th. So I'm only like 12 days into the dieting, where I fasted 4, I ate 4, and then I fasted 4. So yeah, and I'm down 17 pounds. This is not a sustainable weight loss. I'm not going to lose 17 pounds every 3 weeks until April 1st. But even if I lose half of that, every 3 weeks till April 1st. I'm going to be close to my 218 goal. So I think it's pretty doable. The weather will be starting to get a little nicer by then, and I'll start. I live right on a river trail where I can hike, and it just goes for miles in each direction. It's there's some loops around the town I live in, the small city, I guess it is. So, whew. So anyway, guys, man, I'm not gonna lie, it was a very tough 4-day fast this time. I had a lot more thoughts of well, I didn't have thoughts of unhealthy food. I was nipping that off pretty well. Even on the first 4-day fast I did, I was starting to fantasize about, like, I was sitting at work today thinking about, because I knew I was going to eat only meat. So then I was fascinating about like cantaloupe and strawberries and my more favorite food and other food categories and food groups. So, but I'm happy to do the only meat this time because I know with them, the no carbs, the very, very low carb will, well, it'll retain less water because every gram of carbohydrates in your body also stores 2 grams of water. So that's why you feel bloated when you eat like pasta and bread, and it actually is soaking up more water and makes you thirsty. And that water is actually stored in your body, which isn't bad because it needs that water to burn that carbohydrate off. That's why it's, God's perfect creation. Your body's made to do that. But what I'm saying is a gram of protein does not retain the water. So, and protein and fat cannot be converted to glycogen to be stored as body fat. Only carbs can. Now, healthy carbs in a healthy amount, no, they're not going to be stored as body fat. But the carbs I'm talking about, the junk food, the pizzas, the chips, the snacks, those kind of carbs are readily converted, instantly converted to glucose in your bloodstream, and your insulin pumps out, and you got no room for it in your liver and your muscle cells because you're not working out and you're not healthy. So it goes straight into your body fat. So even if you're not working out and you're not healthy and you eat protein and fat, your body is incapable of, it can't make that into glucose. It can turn protein into glucose in an emergency, like when you're starving to death. But when I'm still 253 pounds, my body has tons of fat to burn for fuel. So it would never turn protein into glucose. Well, it's actually turns it into, the same thing as glucose so that it can burn it for sugar. It's called gluconeogenesis, where the protein turns into a burnable fuel for your body because your brain needs carbohydrates or ketones to function. Otherwise you die. So your body's, God put it into our bodies to be able to transform different fuels into what we need. It's just pretty crazy. I think there's so much that science does not know about our bodies, that it's such a complex creation of God's perfect will. So guys, again, 96 in, 253 pounds, not going to go over 260. I better write that pretty big up on the top here. I could even go a little lower, but I think I'm, because that's 7 pounds. I mean, when you eat, like I just ate 2 4-pound burgers and a couple hot dogs, that's like a pound of food. So I definitely gained at least a pound. Probably 2, just start, because then your body can retain water better. And because I put all kinds of salt on them because I knew I was low on sodium today. Oh, that's another thing for next fast. So what day is it? Friday. So I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. So Wednesday, when I start my fast again, so I'll be fasting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week. I'm going to start taking some of the electrolyte supplements. Not the kind that have sweeteners or sugar, but like they're just called fasting salts. So they just have sodium, magnesium, and potassium, and maybe some, what's the other electrolyte? There's like 6, 7 electrolytes. Those are the ones though that you need when you're fasting that get flushed out a lot. When you're like calcium is a electrolyte as well, but that one doesn't get flushed out of your body as much. Sodium and potassium and magnesium need to be in the right balance in your body. Like let's say if you don't have enough magnesium, then it doesn't allow your body to hold up enough sodium either. So it's pretty interesting when you read about fasting and how good it is for you. But then there is some supplementation that might be needed. Although I don't think Jesus, in the Bible, it says Jesus fasted for 40 days to prepare his mind and body to resist the temptations of the devil, which he did, and overcame Satan. And But I think the water, because tap water in America, bottled water, it's void of any minerals or that are natural in water. So if you were drinking out of a well, like Jesus would have been doing, or a stream, like Jesus would have been doing, it has all the minerals of the earth, flowing through that water that the rainwater comes down and goes through the earth and then goes into this well, has all the, minerals of the earth. So like well water, if you're not around a farm that has like pesticides and herbicides and they're poisoning the land and it's getting into your well water, if you can find some land that's away from farming, or at least if it was around like organic farming or something, it'd be the best water you can drink. That's why I say I try to drink spring water, like unfiltered spring water you can get, at some stores. I don't know, I've not done a ton of research about it, but it's going to have at least some of the minerals in there, because they just don't even touch it. Like there's the one in Wisconsin, La Crosse. I think there's one in La Crosse, Wisconsin, that a lot of the spring water in America is bottled at. Like all the companies get their water from there to just bottle that spring water. So I think that's about all I got for today, guys. It's 8:15. I ran out of nighty nighttime. What the hell is it called? Nighty night tea. I ran out of my tea last night, but at least it's not a work night. So if I don't crash out before 10, like I have for the last 12 days, ever since I started day one of the fast last week, I've just slept like a tank. No coffee, no caffeine from the coffee, no nicotine from the cigarettes or e-cigarettes. Cleansed out my body, feel so much better. Don't have any kind of yawning or fatigue at work, like as far as like actual tired. Like the fatigue I'm talking about is like physical. Like my body, my legs are weak and my arms are weak. But I'm not like, I didn't feel like I was about to fall asleep at work or nothing. It's not that kind of fatigue I'm talking about. But now, I did pump iron pretty hard at work there, and I felt it. When I got back to my office, I was like, yeah, I'm going to sleep good tonight. So, and I knew I was out of the tea, and I thought about running to the grocery store to try to find some. And I was like, you know what? I'll be fine. I think I'll be able to sleep okay. So I have I think the only meat, well, like I said, I had a pound of hamburger, the 2 hot dogs, and those 2 turkey patties. So I ate the 2 turkey patties and the 2 hot dogs just right off the bat. So I'm feeling pretty stuffed. So I think I'm good for tonight. It's already 8:15 anyway. And I have that pound of hamburger thawing in the fridge. So when I get up tomorrow, I won't have to run to the grocery store. I can just fry up that pound of hamburger, maybe make like 2 8-ounce patties and season them up nice. And I don't know. I was gonna maybe debate with you guys if you maybe let me use a little butter or a little seasoning. Like if I gotta eat meat for 4 days, I'm gonna buy chicken thighs and ribeye steaks tomorrow, and I'm gonna buy a bunch of meat for these 4 days off. But like chicken thighs, I like to season them up and like saute them with like apple cider vinegar and soy sauce. So the soy sauce would be a little not, it'd be a little off of the diet, but it'd still be all meat. So. Well, I had 2 live viewers for a while there. I think I had 3 total. So thank you guys for checking in. Looks like everybody gave up already, but never too late to come back and finish it up later. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing. Please go back and watch. Like the first 10 videos are all in this playlist are all about like just me deciding to go for it and start a channel and just change my life, and just like, you know what, if I can change my life, like if I can go from 270 pounds to 170 pounds, like my doctor told me I should weigh for the last 20 years, and get back to, I was a Golden Gloves boxer. I walked around at about 170, and then I would cut weight for my fights. And I was just, the women always loved my body. They're always like, he can use a little work on his teeth, and but I think I was the original like butt his face. I cracked myself up. He had a butt his face. I'll be happy to get back to that though. I can already feel like the little bit of definition coming back when you start losing some of that like water weight, and that you're just retaining this bloated feeling. So yeah, I mean, minus 17 pounds. And let's say, oh my God, I mean, if I'm down 17 more in 12 more days from now, like I'll be ecstatic, right? I mean, I'll be killing it. So I think that'll be it for tonight. Don't work tomorrow. I don't even know what to do with myself with 4 days off of work. I haven't had 4 days off of work without going on vacation for like years and years. Seriously, like maybe like 7, 8 years. I mean, unless I took a week to go, I went to Florida or go up. I go camping and hiking a lot, even when like I take vacations just to go backpacking the North Shore area. So I will check in tomorrow. I bet you I'm gonna want to do like 2 shorter videos tomorrow, like I did on the other day the last day I ate. It must have whatever day that was. I think it was Monday. It was episode 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So yeah. Where I can check in the morning and be like, okay, this is what I'm weighing and this is what I want to deal with today. I'm going to go buy some food, and then check in later and be like, okay, this is what food I bought. This is what I'm weighing. This is how the food's impacting my weight right now. And if I'm able to, be strict and stick to the meat only. So, God bless you guys. Thank you again for subscribing. Thank you for watching. If you could like, share, and subscribe, it'd be wonderful. I do want to affect as many people as possible. I want to hear. I've already heard like one wonderful testimony about a guy who told me, hey, I started watching your videos, and he's very skinny. So, but he's still motivated in the same way to transform his body. So he bought some equipment and some food and supplements to increase his muscle mass and just get motivated in life. It doesn't have to be a weight loss channel. It's like I was talking about with the book Think and Grow Rich. It's like it's a book about wealth, and like this is the mindset. This is the habits you have to develop every day, and those same habits and same processes happen for any type of goal you want to achieve. Whether it's build a business or find a romantic partner, or lose weight or gain weight, or gain muscle or lose fat, or be healthier, or increase your cardio, or run a marathon, or whatever it is. So that's kind of what this channel is more about, is the whole process of loving yourself, never giving up, always marching forward, and winning. Just know that you're winning because you're fighting. It's like climbing a mountain. You want to just get dropped off at the peak in a helicopter? It'd say, yay, I'm on the top of the mountain. No, man. You want to start at the base of that mountain, and you want to suffer and struggle your way up that hill, and whatever that mountain is in your life, that's what this channel's about. Where remember we read in the book of what book was it? We're reading where Jesus cursed the fig tree, and the disciples were like, whoa, how did that fig tree wither away so quickly right before our eyes? And Jesus said, I give you power not just to wither this fig tree away, but to cast that mountain into the sea. And he's talking about the challenges in your life are just not even worthy of comparison to the glory of God. If you'll just understand that Jesus gave you authority and power over all the power of your enemies. And the Bible declares our enemies are strong. Our enemy, we're not just able to go whip an ass without Christ in our life. You're gonna fail. So get on board, read that Bible, give your life to Christ. I mean, this is what we're here for. We're here to choose Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior over Satan, who wants to be Jesus Christ. The Bible says, behold, that day shall not come except first there be a falling away, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who shows to the world that he is God, trying to prove to the world and to himself that he is God. And we'll get into the Bible more about those teachings and stuff. But for now, I just want to let you guys know that I'm here because I want to change. And I felt this whole new mental attitude hit me on December 5th, or it might have been the 4th, because I know my first video was on the 5th. And I think it was that same day. I just decided, my mind just flipped and was like, you can win. You just stop wallowing in the misery. Stop going back to your, like a dog going back to his own feces. Like, stop turning back. You're not going that way anymore. Stop arguing with a friend, let's say. Like, what is that good? break the friendship up, go your own way. And if Christ will, you'll be back together some other day. Same thing with a woman, even a father and a child, or a mother and a child, if it's that toxic, the Bible says it's better to gouge out your eye and enter the eternity whole than to bring that poison dye with you and end up in hell. So it's like, accept your fate. Read more about Stoicism. It has some really cool philosophies as well. Like even learn to enjoy the pain of life, knowing that those are the ways to victory. Like I said, the obstacle is the way. Sometimes, like your worst pain leads to your greatest love. Like your greatest sorrows end up being your greatest joys through them. Not, you're never gonna. I'm never gonna be happy that my mother passed away at 58 years old in 2008. It's not like I'm gonna. But I learned to love the people that are still here more, and appreciate that every moment you have with them. And I didn't want my little brother, my younger brother, to pass away on October 30th, 2015. But how much I still think about him every day. I'll be driving to work and I'll think, oh, I'm gonna tell Jay this funny joke next time I see him, and then oh my God, it's been 7 years and I still can't even fathom that he's not with me anymore. So I better get going because I'm about to crack. Jesus loves you, everybody, and so do I. God bless you. Good night.